A very good afternoon. I'm come to teach Standard 8 English Grammar. So chapter Standard 8 English Grammar, we are going to begin from book 2, which is part 1 of the Wren & Martin High School English Grammar and Composition book. This will be chapter number 1, which is analysis of simple sentences. I repeat, chapter 1, analysis of simple sentences. So just let's begin. We have learned that a sentence is a set or group of words that make complete sense. Now, if I ask you what is a sentence, then all of y'all would tell me that a sentence is a group of words that make complete sense. That is correct. But we need to understand how can we identify which words belongs to which column, which words have which function, and so on. Now, to understand or to start with the analysis of a simple sentence, the first way you could do it is by identifying which is the subject and which is the predicate. Now, I would give you a sentence like dogs bark. So, we need to keep in mind that to identify the subject and the predicate, we need to understand that the naming part of the sentence is always the subject. So, out here in this sentence, dogs bark, which is the naming part? The answer would be dogs. So, that becomes the subject, and remaining, which is bark, that becomes the predicate. Let's talk about the second sentence. The sun gives light. The sun gives light. So out here again, which is the naming part? The sun, correct? That would be the subject, and gives light would be the predicate. Now, if I give you a sentence like come here. So in this sentence, what is the subject and what is the predicate? Many of y'all will tell me that, sir, come is the subject and here is the predicate. But again, I would like to make you understand that a subject cannot be a verb. Come is a verb, so it cannot be a verb. Here is also a type of verb like an adverb. So that also cannot be a subject. So what is the subject? In cases like this, where there is no subject, then it is up to the reader to make his own subject. So when I say come here, you could say you come here, so you becomes the subject. And the remaining, which is come here, that becomes the predicate. So wherever the subject is missing, it is up to you to add a subject to it. So this is about subject and predicate, the first portion. The next, let us talk about simple subject. What is a simple subject? A simple subject is when there is only one subject. The dog, one. The sun, one. So that becomes the simple subject. What is a subject verb or a subject word? The subject word is always a noun in the sentence or a group of words that does the work of a noun. It will always be a noun. If the noun is the subject, then that noun becomes the subject verb, a word. But if there is no noun, then the group of words that does the work of a noun becomes the subject word. So out here there is an exercise. I would like to read a few sentences from this exercise. In the following sentences, separate the subject and the predicate. Number 1, the cackling of geese saved Rome. So out here, the cackling of geese, that becomes the subject. Cackling is the sound of a geese. Geese is a type of a flightless bird. Saved Rome. Now saved Rome becomes the predicate. The second one we have stone walls do not a prison make. So out here it is telling you that walls which are made of a stone, that is not a prison. A prison is again what we make of our life. So coming back into this sentence, is mentioned there, stone walls do not a prison make. So out here we are talking about the stone walls. So that becomes the subject and the remaining becomes the predicate. Now let's do number 3. All matter is indestructible. All matter is indestructible. So out here again the naming word, what are we talking about? We are talking about matter. So that becomes the subject, which is all matter is the subject and the predicate will be is indestructible. So this is exercise 1 which you'll need to do. You will find it in the book. Now let's go to the next exercise, which is exercise 2. Exercise 2. In this sentence, in this exercise it is written, in the following sentences pick out the complete subject and then separate the subject word from its attributes. Now what do we understand by attributes? Attributes means a particular word that gives something else or some important points or some important features to another word that it is connected with. I repeat, an attribute is a word which gives different functions or different meaning to another word to which it is connected. Connected meaning the words being together. That is called a attribute. So a, o, an and the are rarely attributes, but they are sometimes treated as parts of the subject word. Like for example, if I say the sun, now the is actually talking about the sun. The sun. So we cannot put it separately. So out here, the, because it being an attribute with the word sun, it becomes the subject word because there is a noun. But if there is no noun, like the cackling of geese, out here we are not talking about the geese, but we are talking about the sound of the geese, which is cackling. So that becomes adjective or verb. So it is describing the geese, that the geese is laughing, and it is also talking about the sound which is cackling. So it is a verb as well as an adjective, but it does the work of a noun. So that also can be called a subject word. So till here the explanation is done. Exercise 1 you'll need to complete, and exercise 2, when I come for my next class, I will explain that to you in detail so that we could understand it much better, and then we would go ahead with chapter number 2. I do hope that you have understood this chapter. I will be back tomorrow with chapter 1 exercise 2 and the remaining part of this chapter, that is chapter 1. The chapter 1 is not yet completely explained. It will be explained tomorrow. It will be completely explained tomorrow. And also I would explain to you exercise 2 of chapter 1. I do hope that you have understood till what I have explained. Have a great day and thanks for listening.